Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. This is going to be game number 4 between FXO and Team Rain. We have, a very interesting game point type of thing going on here, where if Rain wins right here, they will win the clan war. But if they lose, then it'll be the first time we actually get to see an ace in the NASTL. And what happens? Each team chooses one player. And they're going to be pitted against each other in a best-of-3 loser chooses map. Yep. So we'll go ahead and see what goes down with this match. It's going to be Leenock versus Inori. What sick players, man.
I know. I'm already tensed up.
I know. Let's go ahead and get into the game right now, as it has started. It is Leenock versus Inori. And this was played on the Korean server, so that no lag was experienced for them. So
yeah, and that's, I mean, So one of the nice features about this tournament and the GCPL is the server switching rules. Most of the team tournaments are played strictly on the North American server. However, we love to institute the server switching to make it as fair as possible, because we want to limit the inconveniences to players, because obviously when you're from all over the world, Europeans get lag on the North America server, Koreans get lag on the North American server, so having server switching is a great way to make it as fair as possible. We understand that it's not 100% of the time going to be in an ideal situation if you're not playing in like the GSTL where they're literally kind of at a LAN, and each player is under the exact same conditions. But this is one of the ways to get around that kind of a problem. So they're playing on Korea, not at 3 a.m. So I mean we're seeing them in their natural element, and that's really where you're going to see the best game possible.
Exactly. Well, we already have, it looks like Inori going out for some sort of forge fast expand. It looks like he's not going to do that right away, because he does have a probe in his opponent's base. Now he sees that it is, wow, going up to 15. Yeah,
interesting.
15. And that basically means he wants to place a hatchery over here.
Yep. And I think that's Inori is probably going to be, he's patrolling that probe. And Leenock is going to have to run away with this drone lest it be killed. Both players are denying the expansions of the other, but...
Inori got it down.
I think Leenock blundered a little bit there. Inori does get the Nexus down. We do see a spawning pool coming from Leenock. Still no hatchery being built.
Now remember, this is a super, super late spawning pool as well, so he won't be able to take his hatchery. If I was Inori in this position, I would instantly throw down a pylon, knowing my opponent has put down such a delayed spawning pool. It's going to be so long until he actually gets enough units to take out something like a pylon. So hopefully we see that from Inori. He is just going around. It doesn't look like he's actually going to do it, though. But look at that. Look at the mineral count.
He messed up. But... wow, it looks like Leenock is probably going to go for a really quick double expand.
Yep. I think,
and really that's what you want to do.
It could be something like that. I'm not sure exactly if it's going to be that, but, obviously Leenock is behind. I'm sure he knows that as well, because the Nexus was started so much earlier than this hatchery. Look at that. Nexus is just about 85% of the way done. Hatchery is only 35% of the way done, so almost, a lot of time. 50 seconds.
Yep, no, Inori is playing this very well. Setting up a very nice wall. There's only going to be one small area in which 0 units can get through. His gateway is pretty much done. He's got his gas down. His expansion's done. So Inori is exactly where he wants to be right now. Leenock has been set back by about a minute.
Yep.
But it's obviously... nothing bad, and there is the third base from Leenock. So what he wants to do is he wants to kill these destructible rocks outside the natural expansion, so he can connect those 3 bases. Otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare for him to defend this location. Because without killing the rocks, I mean, that third base is just super far away from your natural expansion.
And hopefully he does that soon. He is bringing his Zerglings all the way back, and he will get that connected momentarily. I do like Leenock's play so far. This is... I don't want to say standard, but we have seen play like this at the 4.5-minute mark. We actually saw it in the team league with Stoji. We also saw it with Red. Red did this in the normal NASL league, so we are familiar with this. Basically, what you have to do is just drone the crap out of your bases, but then switch over to Roach Zergling. So his opponent should know it's going to be Roach Zergling in the mid-game stages, and you have to basically do that in case there is some sort of, 6-gate push or something like that. Something very, very menacing in this early game stage. Because it's not too probable that you can get an Overlord in and see exactly what your opponent is doing. So we'll see we'll see how Inori actually does this, because right now he's just about to deny Leenock from any of the scouting. He will be able to do a lot from here in terms of Stargate, in terms of Twilight Council, or even, as I said, the gateways.
Right. This puts Protoss in a very flexible position. This is one of the best things, especially about getting that early advantage. When you kind of don't dictate the pace of the game, you're much more limited. But because Inori denied that expansion for an extra minute or two, it puts him in a position where he can be flexible and do a multitude of different things. So that's really good. He's putting 3 gateways down, so he's going to go for a 4-gate. Very much so a common build. And it's going to set him up for a nice timing attack, where he's probably going to be in a good position to take down this third, especially because these rocks aren't taken out. And behind this, he's most likely going to be taking a third base, as well as teching up. You can see the Twilight Council is already coming down. I wouldn't be surprised if a robotics facility gets built in a minute. Yeah. And yeah.
A robotics facility probably, and a Twilight Council. That's the most, well, there's you already said the Twilight Council, but the Twilight Council, of course, gets put down. The robotics facility, I think, needs to go down. Normally you get that synergy. The pylon in front has already finished. I think he's just waiting for the warp gates. Yes, there it goes. Transferring into warp gate. Zerglings are already made. Look at this timing by Leenock. He knows exactly when to make units. But here's the round with Zealous that he has to be so careful about. Will he be able to do damage? Inori needs some really good micro at this point.
Right, and then, as I said, here is the third base coming down from Inori, so this is a really great job. He's researching Blink, he's getting his third, and meanwhile, he's attacking, so he's putting pressure on Leenock, so Leenock can't go after that third. It's going to allow him to have the time necessary to build that up. And if he's lucky, he's going to be able to take down this third as well, and that's going to put him in a really, really nice position. But the roaches from Leenock are coming out to reinforce, and despite the fact that he lost his Zerglings, these roaches are going to clean up the army, but Inori is taking down drones, and that's a really good idea from him.
Yeah, and these roaches come out at the perfect time, able to deny anything from going on over here. Now, one important thing to note is that Inori actually left his gas for, I'm not sure what. You can see he is peaking at around 300 gas. He hasn't really been using it all, just now getting sentries. But normally what we see is sentries in that early game stage. Now, what does it mean for Inori to get them a little bit later? Basically, one, he wasn't able to use them in the fight, so it does, obviously weaken his army composition a little bit. You want sentries in there for that Guardian Shield, for that Force Shield. Additionally, his energy is going to be much, much, much lower. Right. So that's going to make these sentries obviously a lot less powerful as we move forward into this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a little bit of a mistake by Inori. I mean, I don't think he purposely withheld building those sentries, but again, it's a minor mistake, because what he really accomplished from that, one, he slowed down Leenock's economy. Leenock really should be at about 75 drones right now. He's only at 63. He established his third, and he's up to 8 gateways now. So Inori has transitioned into the mid game very, very well. His robotics facility is coming down now. He could have got that a little bit earlier, but again, not a huge deal. And Inori is setting himself up to be in a really nice mid-game stage. I mean, it's basically totally even. And wow, Leenock is throwing down a lot of spines, and that means to me that Mutalisks are coming. You see the Spire is about halfway done. He's going to have a really nice defense, and then he's going to attempt to take Inori off guard. But I think Inori, with his Blink Stalkers, is going to be in a great position to deal with Mutas.
Yeah, we do see this sometimes, these transitions, and this is actually a place to the metagame. Normally, when you see Zergling Roach, your opponent's going to stay on there and go to something like Infestor. Right. So you're preparing for something like Infestors, and there's a number of ways to do that. But instead of going Infestors, Leenock is actually saying, okay, I'm going to kind of change it up, especially on a map like Ohana, where Mutas are actually pretty good, especially in the back of this third. You can swing in and then fly to safety in this bottom left-hand corner. You can see just dark, dark abyss. But Mutas are definitely going to be very, very powerful. The Infestors get you safe that disables a lot of pushes. So what he's saying is, well, I know Inori knows that I'm capable of going in festers at this point. I'm going to go ahead and take the advantage of the fact that he's not going to press into me, get mutas at this critical time, and then all of a sudden I have this advantage where normally it doesn't exist. Spine crawlers to fall back on, and I will be fine defensively as well.
Right. And meanwhile, Inori has a pretty nice read on what Leenock is doing. He's got 2 cannons, 2 preemptive cannons at each of his main and his natural expansion.
Interesting.
He doesn't yet have them at the 3rd base, but you know, most Zerg players won't go straight for the 3rd. Most players go straight for the natural, which is exactly what Leenock is doing right now. He's going to fly right into 2 cannons. But again, yeah, Inori, all he has to do is just warp in a couple stalkers, blink, and those mutas are going to run away. So he only lost a couple probes in that exchange. Yeah, Leenock killed 3 probes. But meanwhile, Leenock has taken his 4th base, which is what he wants to do, is using those mutas to gain map control. He's going to try to keep Inori pinned down in his base while he establishes his economy and then continues transitioning to late game.
Exactly. That's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to deny his opponent a 3rd as well. He needs to be very careful. These Zerglings can't really be thrown away. Zerglings are actually going for mutas. They're actually not as costly as going something like Roach Circling. Roach Circling, you don't want to be just suiciding Zerglings like that, but for now, there will be an excess of minerals for a very long time until he can get up more bases, get that gas count a little bit higher, and also get some spine crawlers. We do see a little engagement over here. These stalkers might be caught out of position. They need to blink away. Force fields are going up. He does have blink, so kind of weird that he actually let that go, but still, it's all right. More mutas are actually being produced. Is he getting any upgrades for them? Right now, we do have 1-0 on them. The ground for Leenock is looking at 1-0, and the Zerglings are actually 1-0 as well. He's upgrading +1 missile or +2 melee attack
and +2 fire attacks.
And +2 fire attacks.
Just started.
I like it, man.
And centrifugal hooks are just about done. And Inori is researching Storm. I really like the fact that he's switching over to Templar tech. That's basically the perfect transition to deal with Mutalisks, Zerglings, and Banelings.
I agree.
Great job by Inori.
The mutas are going to come in here and actually slightly dodge those cannons.
Wow.
That is a ton.
Mutalisks, and yeah, he killed. Oh, really nice brink there.
But here comes the Roaches and Zerglings from the left-hand side. Will they be able to do any damage? It looks like the cannons and the sentries over here are going to clean this up pretty easily. A nice force field comes over here, just bottlenecks those Roaches a little bit, makes it a lot easier to close up with those Zealots. You can see the cannons are doing a lot of work as well. Finally, the mutas are coming over here, actually targeting down the sentries. He's killing every single sentry. That's going to help so much. Sentries are actually a great way in negating a lot of the damage that the Mutalisks do with that Guardian Shield. And if you hallucinate something like Phoenixes, as I was saying before, Phoenixes actually get first priority. Oh, the poor Warp Prison in the bottom left-hand corner is going to be taken out.
I think that was a little bit of a lucky hit by Leenock. He kind of retreated his Mutalisks directly into the path of Warp Prison. So that was...
Oh my god.
Yeah, not too good. And Leenock is throwing down a bunch more spine crawlers, and he is at 5 base right now, and Inori is still sitting on 3 bases. So Inori started off the game doing almost everything right, but really he's been struggling to... And he hasn't even attempted to secure that 4th, and I think his timing is a little bit off for that. I mean, he's starting it now, but again, he has nothing to defend it. He doesn't have the same map control and confidence and the pace of the earlier stage of the game when he dictated his first natural expansion pulling down and his 3rd base.
Ooh, and here we go. Banelings are actually going to go on all these stalkers. And a nice trade.
And that was really great by Leenock, and Inori didn't really try to micro that at all. And what happened to those Templars?
Yeah, he had no Templars, man.
He just warped in 2 Templars right now. And another Warp Prism looks like it's going to be going around the left side of the map.
Yep. And at this state, he can basically what he wants to do is use Zealot. He wants to do Zealot harass. I wouldn't say Sentry or Stalker or even Dark Templars because he's only on 3 base. His 6 or his first and second gases will mine out relatively soon. You can see they're dwindling in that gas count, so he needs to be very careful. But just go and use Zealot pressure, free up some supply, even though he's only at 160 supply, free up some supply, and then replace it with more gas-intensive units.
Yep. And if you look at Leenock's bases, and yeah, those that's not going to be anything. And that Warp Prism is going to get taken out. Yeah, Leenock is rock solid. If you see, look at his 4th base. He's got 4 spines to this 4th. He's got 5 spines 6-7 spines at his 5th, as well as a spore. So Leenock is just absolutely rock solid. It's almost like an impenetrable fortress by Leenock. And he's got Infestors, he's got Zerglings, Banelings, Mutalisks. He's transitioning to Corruptors, so we're going to see Blue Lords coming very soon. The Greatest Fire is almost done. And Inori is probably going to have to cancel this 4th yet again. And the counter.
That's what we were talking about in the beginning. That's what you want to do. You want to keep denying the 4th base, take advantage of Ohana and how spread out it is. So right now, Leenock feels like he's just toying with his opponent. Still, he can't go head-to-head with his opponent's army composition. He wants to actually defend.
Templars.
Exactly. There's too many Templars. It's just mutas aren't actually a good like head-to-head hit. So you see consistently like that Baneling splatter. That's what you have to do. You want those trades. But knowing that you have better economy than your opponent, you can really take advantage of him later on. And now we can see a Zergling, Baneling, and faster type of army composition. That's to help out with the Blink Stalkers to make sure... Ooh! Storms actually go off, but they don't actually good hits. And some of these mutas actually die, but now here comes the big push by Inori. Is it going to be enough? He does have a lot of High Templars in here. Archons are as well.
He has 8 High Templars, actually. That's a lot of High Templars. And while he's focus firing the hatchery, I really dislike that. And okay, you stopped doing that. That's good.
Yep, and now Leenock is going to try to regroup.
Yeah, he's just letting this base die. I don't think he realizes he can't really take this head on. He does have 8 Broodlords. He only has 2 Infestors, though. I think he could use a couple more Infestors, and well, that freed up quite a bit of supply, so he's probably going to be building some right now.
There you go. Mutas are going to be moving all the way over to this base over here in the mid-left position. Now, what Inori wants to do is just mass defend this, but he has to be careful because he should know that something like, you know, Greater Spire Tech is definitely a possibility.
Oh my god, look in the main of Leenock. There's another War Prism. It looks like try if you fail once, try again. Inori is trying again, but these 4 Zealots are not doing anything.
Good dancing.
Yeah. I think Inori kind of dropped the ball on that one. The one time his War Prism finally works, he kind of ignores it.
Yep, unfortunate, but you know, overall.
But he's secured. He killed the 4th of Leenock whilst taking his own
That's
sword.
what I was going to talk about. I mean, it's a great diversion, gives you a lot of control. Now he has his 4th all set up. He has almost all of his cannons repowered, but I would love some High Templars in that composition. But still, what Inori wants to do is just build that ultimate composition to counter the Zergling Baneling Roach. Unfortunately for him, he's not going versus Zergling Baneling Roach anymore. Yep. He's going up against 17 Broodlords.
Yeah, and what I like right now is the fact that Inori is transitioning to Void Rays. He's got 2 Stargates right now. I hope he's getting air upgrades, which he is getting air upgrades, and that's really great. So basically, he has a really nice army composition. Leenock can't really win a head-to-head fight. I mean, especially with those Broodlords, it's going to take him a long time to get there. And by the time Inori loses this army, he's going to be able to reinforce this army with a set of Void Rays, which is going to be really good against the Broodlords. So. Yeah. What I think Inori needs to do is I think he needs to engage away from his own side of the map, because that way, if he engages near Leenock's side of the map, he's going to be able to have more time to reinforce with Void Rays, but he's just letting Leenock walk right across the map over to his side. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah, what this basically says is, Inori, you're going to come to me and we're going to actually have our engagement right here. And Leenock has all the initiative. He knows exactly where he wants to fight. Look at this. He's actually going to give up his 4th. This is just a losing line, I think. Leenock is just way too strong.
And Inori is just going for a counter. He says he doesn't even care. He's just going straight for the counter. I love that, because that really abuses the Zerg's lack of mobility, and Leenock is almost forced to just keep those Broodlords and try to go for a base trade.
It's the only thing he can do. He can't really engage, but he can't really do anything else but base trade, right?
Right.
But still, I think the base trade is wrong. He's not in a position. Well, I guess it's the only thing he can do. You know, overall, he's just not in a
wow,
great
Leenock
position.
Is just losing a bunch of queens. He lost one of those queens. And yeah, this is, again, Leenock's defense is very, very good right now, and these Broodlords are going to get across the map. But
oh, God.
Oh, no. This is a really bad position for Inori. Nice feedbacks and nice storms. But yeah, you definitely don't want to be fighting in there, because here come the Broodlords to just flank this army, and that was a very poor decision by Inori. I think he just walked right to his death.
Yeah, well, these Broodlords, 17 of them are just smashing face, and that's going to do it for Inori's army. I don't think he has any capacity to do anything more, because Broodlords all the way on the left-hand side have been tearing apart this 3rd. third is nearly dead. The Void Ray finally comes over here. It has +1 attack, but doesn't even matter. There goes Inori's chance to actually make anything else. And FXO is actually going to come back in this and tie it up 2-2.
Unless
what?
A mothership can vortex the whole army and Archon's kill it in 5 seconds.
Archon Toilet, man. He could Archon Toilet, but there is 3K, 2K left in the bank. Overseers as well. We'll see. I mean, the Brood Lords are kind of spread out. But anything is possible, Duran.
Anything is possible with a mothership. And
there is one carrier on the way. Don't forget.
Absolutely nothing to do.
7 Corruptors are actually in production right now. The mothership is going to use the Vortex, but he's not going to have any units to actually go inside.
The only thing that's in there is Corruptors, and
GG's.
And FXO ties it up, so Andre, we are going to an ace match. I'm excited, man.
Our first ace match in the NASTL. Of course, it's only the first week, but it is day number 3, day number 1 and 2. We're pretty decisive wins for the particular teams. I don't want to give it away. Go check it out at YouTube/NAStarLeague if you want to go check those out. But you know what? We're going to go into the ace match. I'm really excited to see who both these teams actually choose. Let's go ahead and get into a break, and we'll be back with the ace match between FXO and Team Rain.